Hello again, it's Mr. Churchill signing in for today's reading, August 26th. Abraham's faith tested. Um, Faith of Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, the most parents of Moses and of the Israelites, have Rahab. So it breaks into different sections. We'll be reading from Hebrews 11, a break off from James 2, 21, 24, and back to Hebrews. So, um, 17 through 19. By trusting Abraham when he was put to the test, offered up Yitzhak as a sacrifice. Yes, he offered up his only son, he who had received the promises, to whom it had been said, "What is called your seed will be in Yitzhak." For he had concluded that God could even raise people from the dead, and figuratively speaking, he did so receive him. James. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered up Isaac his son upon the altar? Dost thou see that faith worked along with his works, and by the works the faith was made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which says, Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as justice, and he was called the friend of God. You see that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Hebrews 20 through 31. By trusting Yitzhak is his blessing over Yaakov and Esav, made reference to events yet to come. By trusting Yaakov when he was dying, blessed each of Joseph's sons, leaning on his walking stick as he bowed in prayer. By trusting Yosef near the end of his life, remembered about the exodus of the people of Israel and gave instruction about what to do with his bones. By trusting the parents of Moshe hid him for 3 months after he was born, because they saw that he was a beautiful child, and they weren't afraid of the king's decree. By trusting Moshe after he had grown up, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. He chose being mistreated along with God's people rather than enjoying the passing pleasures of sin. He had come to regard abuse suffered on behalf of Messiah as greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he kept his eyes fixed on the reward. By trusting, he left Egypt, not fearing the king's anger. He persevered as one who sees the unseen. By trusting, he obeyed the requirements for the Pesach, including the smearing of the blood, so that the destroyer of the firstborn would not touch the firstborn of Israel. By trusting, he walked through the Red Sea as though dry land, and when the Egyptians tried to do it, the sea swallowed them up. By trusting, the walls of Jericho fell down after the people had marched around them for 7 days. By trusting, Rahab the prostitute welcomed the spies and therefore did not die along with those who were disobedient. What more should I say? There isn't time to tell about Gideon, Barak, Shimshon, Yitzhak, David, Shemuel, and the prophets, who through trusting conquered kingdoms, worked righteousness, received was what was promised, shut the mouths of lions, and quenched the power of fire. And that's it for today's reading. It's Mr. Churchill signing off.